Last episode, we showed you some animation errors that we were able to find in SpongeBob SquarePants. But being such a long-running series as it is, the first video was just a glimpse of what errors you can find. Here are a couple more for you to see. Number 1. A squiddish Santa? Christmas is a special date for everyone, including the inhabitants of Bikini Bottom and, of course, for SpongeBob and his friends. In this Christmas special, SpongeBob gets to know the tradition of Christmas after Sandy explains what this awesome tradition is about. The yellow phenomenon gets so excited, but things don't go as he wants. In an unfortunate turn of events, Santa doesn't show up to Bikini Bottom, and everyone in the city blames SpongeBob, believing that Bob lied about Santa Claus's existence. Due to this, SpongeBob is saddened and disappointed as he only wanted to bring joy and happiness to others. Despite this, he still believes in the celebration and makes a homemade present for his friend Squidward.
I still want you to have this.
This finally encourages Squidward enough to feel the spirit of Christmas. In order to make SpongeBob happy, he pretends to be Santa. But when SpongeBob starts asking questions about his aspects and how different he is in comparison to what he believes Santa to be...
Where's your reindeer and your flying machine?
I loaned them to the Easter Bunny.
And what about that nose?
Suddenly, when the camera pans to Squidward, he has only 2 legs instead of the traditional 4 that he has in other scenes. Maybe the animators wanted Squidward to embrace his role as Santa to the fullest, but it is rather unique to see a squid with only 2 legs. Number 2. Patrick does a switcheroo in class? Band Geeks is probably one of the most famous episodes in the whole series. The musical covers, the whole charisma of the band, the uniforms. But not everything that shines is going to be gold, right? When Squidward arrives at band class, his students are seated in rows, with SpongeBob and Patrick naturally sitting together like the absolute besties they are. But when Patrick later has the greatest idea to ask if mayonnaise is an instrument,
Is mayonnaise an instrument?
we see a strange little thing. Remember that he was next to Bob? Now he's suddenly sitting next to Sandy, to the surprise of us all. Since Professor Squidward didn't ask his students to change seats, Patrick shouldn't have been shown sitting next to SpongeBob in the first place. But being the free and rebellious spirit that he is, maybe animators decided that it was better for him to switch places. Number 3. Too much work hurts the eyes? We all know that SpongeBob is very dedicated to his job, right? During this adventure in the first season of the show, SpongeBob ends up sleeping with the refrigerator opened. His house freezes completely overnight. But being the best employee he is, SpongeBob couldn't admit that he was sick with the suds, so he went to work. Of course, he was in no condition to work as he kept sneezing out bubbles and wasn't getting Krabby Patties out at the rate Mr. Krabs wanted him to, which really annoyed the bossy crab. SpongeBob even fell on his knees as he held out a patty, but the burger was sent flying after he gave another sneeze. During this sneeze, maybe the effort was just too big, but suddenly his right eye turned black for a split second. This was unlikely an intentional choice since his eyes are usually white, but it comes to show how committed Bob is with his work and his values, even if this can cause him to put his health and life on the line to make the best hamburgers that Bikini Bottom has ever seen. Number 4, a quick change of tie. Plankton has made many schemes to get the secret formula for the Krusty Krab's signature hamburgers, but let's recap one of the first schemes that Bikini Bottom's resident villain plotted. During the first season of the show, Plankton got to infiltrate Bob's brain and install a mind-controlling device that let him control every muscle in our protagonist's body. While controlling Bob's body, he forced SpongeBob to get out of bed as he planned to make him grab a Krabby Patty and deliver it to the chum bucket and then analyze it to know the secret behind it. When SpongeBob walked toward his pants, his clothes looked perfectly normal, wearing his trademark outfit with his red tie and his shorts. Suddenly, when he walked into them stretching the fabric, his usually red tie turned black for a brief moment. After the fabric snapped back, the tie returned to its original red state. Maybe Plankton's influence over him was too big that he was able to also change his clothes. You'll never know what the next step of this mastermind of evil would be. Number 5, KRABS can levitate? Both Squidward and KRABS have become the source of many fantastic memes over the history of the series. Dying for Pie has one of the funniest stories that we can find during the second season of the show. In this adventure, Squidward has a mission during Employee Brotherhood Day, a day on which all employees must exchange gifts that they made themselves. For his gift to Squidward, SpongeBob presents him with a sweater made out of his own eyelashes. But Squidward, being the angry squid he is, doesn't like the protagonist's heartfelt gift, and thus SpongeBob begins to cry copiously, eventually handing Squidward a sweater made from his own tears. During this sad turn of events, there is a brief second where a flaw can be found. While Mr. Krabs and Squidward are pointing at Bob, the crab does not have any legs and his body is hovering in midair. Such a weird error if you are able to see it. But that's not everything. There's another error here as well. Squidward is missing legs too. In the show, Squidward Tentacles has 4 tentacles for legs, but in the same shot as Mr. Krabs, Squidward is seen only having 2. Remember the Santa Claus episode? This might ring a bell for you. Number 6, a ghostly gorilla? I bet that everyone that has seen a single SpongeBob episode recognizes the big gorilla that appears from time to time to attack our heroes. But let's talk about this episode of the 3rd season of the show. In one of the show's funniest yet random gags, a real gorilla comes and begins to pummel Sandy and Patrick. With the amount of craziness and King Kong-ish inspiration, it is understandable if we as viewers did not notice an error in the animation of the gorilla combined with the green screen effects. During the whole time that the gorilla is hitting them, it is partially transparent if you look close enough. If you pay close attention, you can find shots where we as spectators can see right through the gorilla and see Conch Street and the sandy fields of Bikini Bottom. Strange phenomena even seem to occur underwater. What do you think about these animation errors in the series? Was it hard for you to find them? Please let us know in the comments and stay tuned for more videos about SpongeBob. Subscribe to our channel and until the next time, goodbye!